Minnesota Vikings are lining up some pre-draft visits, and usually what happens, especially with these top 30 visits, is that you get a scatter shot. You get some day 2 guys, you get some day 3 guys, you get some guys that are going to be priority UDFAs that you're going to target after the draft. But sometimes you're looking at first-round picks too. And Brian Branch reportedly meeting with the Vikings. You absolutely love to see it. Branch is one of my favorite players in this draft. I think that he's got top 10 talent, but I think that he could potentially fall to the Vikings at 23, and I think that would be an absolutely massive get for the Vikes. And Brian Flores would be smiling, because it would be the perfect piece for his defense where he stresses versatility, and he's a guy who likes to build his defense from the back to the front, and Brian Branch would just be a huge part of that. And Brian Branch, beyond the whole Alabama comparison thing, like he's often comped to Minkah Fitzpatrick, where he's an extremely versatile defensive back, and Flores worked with Minkah in Miami as well as last year in Pittsburgh. And he's the type of player that Branch could be. And I think that Brian Branch is he's going to be a stud. He's going to be an absolute stud. And I love his game. And, the fact that he's a true leader. He's got a very high football IQ, coming in from Alabama, where we said this a bunch. Like, Nick Saban is a defensive back first and foremost. It's what he played in college at Kent State back in the day. And if you watch him at practice with his stupid straw hat, he's always hands-on with the DBs. And former NFL head coach with the Dolphins, as well as defensive coordinator under Belichick, like the complex schemes, the complex concepts, like they run consistently at Alabama. So that's why Alabama defensive backs have had this track record of success in the NFL, where it's you have 4- and 5-star talented kids, and you put them through the ringer of competing against fellow 4- and 5-star guys just to get onto the field, and they have to bring their A game, not only just having the talent, but being cerebral and understanding these high-level NFL-level concepts, and that's what you get. That's why guys like Minkah Fitzpatrick have been so successful. That's why Brian Branch will be successful, and I absolutely love him, man. Brian Branch, 21 years young, 6 foot, $193, former 4-star recruit from Fayetteville, Georgia. 2022 first-team All-American, 90 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, 7 passes broken up, 89.5 PFF grade, 69.3. Nice quarterback rating when thrown at. Now, he didn't test great, which actually could benefit the Vikings, because I think if he tested out of the gym, I think that he would probably be a top 12 pick. Top 13, top 14 picks, somewhere in there. But his pedestrian testing numbers actually could help the Vikings. And watching him on tape, you're not really concerned about it at all. Could add a little bit of size, but of course, being an NFL weight room and nutrition room, I'm not saying that Alabama is whatever there, but he certainly could add some as he matures and fills out, but the versatility is key. Can play in the slot, which may be his best role in the NFL, or third safety, big nickel. Can play on the outside as a corner. Can play single high. Can play split safeties. Can play a lot of different ways. And he's a great tackler, great in run support, and he's just fantastic, man. I absolutely just love and adore his game. Even though, yes, Byron Murphy is going to be working the slot quite a bit, when you're talking about matching up against tight ends, when you're talking about matching up against running backs, I think Brian Branch could be that dude. And I know what you're saying. Well, why do you need another safety? We're actually pretty good at safety. Are we, though? Because Harrison, this is probably the last dance for Harrison Smith. And Lewis Cine, I love him, but he's unproven, heading into year 2. And also, if it's going to be Cine and Brian Branch as your safeties going forward, like their games really complement each other. Lewis Cine being the hammer. Actually, they're both the hammer. 2 hammers. What could go wrong? And even though Cam Beasley was a starter and played all the snaps last year, I'm not sold on him. And there's nothing wrong with bringing a little competition, right? And also Josh Metellus, special teams captain, I love him, but he's in a contract year. So safety, low key, is a bit of a need for the Vikings. And with Branch, not only do you get a safety, you get a slot guy, you get a corner, you get just a do-it-all guy who's a great leader, understands these high-level concepts, is very active down in the box, and ain't afraid to come up and run support, and just brings an attitude and edge and a little bit of a chippiness to the defense. So, I mean, if he, again, I don't know if he makes it to 23. But if he does, that's something that the Vikings really need to consider. And Brian Flores, we know where he would be at. Yeah, that's right, man. Your thoughts are thoughts of Vikings reportedly meeting with Alabama safety corner slot defensive back do-it-all guy Brian Branch pre-draft. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.